Have you ever noticed how guilty you can feel just for wanting a moment of peace? You sit down, close your eyes for a few minutes, and suddenly a voice in your mind starts whispering you should be doing something. Maybe it's the dishes, maybe laundry, or a phone call you haven't returned yet. Strange, isn't it? You spend decades working hard, raising families, supporting everyone around you. And even after 60, when people say you've earned your rest, you still feel as if you must defend it. But what if that mindset is quietly harming you? What if, at this stage in life, the real key to staying energized, sharp, and emotionally steady isn't about adding more tasks to your day, but about knowing when to slow down, when to breathe, and when to give yourself permission to simply be? We live in a world that celebrates constant doing, always moving, always helping, always producing. But rarely do we stop to ask, who is taking care of you? Maybe you spent years caring for children, supporting a spouse, or being the one everyone relied on. Perhaps you were the strong shoulder, the wise listener, the problem solver. But somewhere along the way, your own needs quietly slip to the bottom of the list. It happens easily. The day begins, and before you know it, every minute is committed to something or someone else. You take your pills, maybe get a short walk in if the weather behaves, and by evening you're drained. But when was the last time you paused and asked yourself, how am I really feeling? The truth no one talks about is this: self-care after 60 is not selfish, it is essential. Neglecting it doesn't just wear you out, it slowly affects your body, your mood, your sleep, and yes, even your urinary health. Yet this neglect rarely comes from carelessness. It comes from love, from old habits, from believing you must earn every moment of rest. But your body needs you now in ways it didn't before, not in bursts of guilt-driven effort, but through steady, thoughtful care. Your body hears how you treat it. It remembers every skipped meal, every rushed morning, every postponed moment of rest. Eventually, it starts signaling back through fatigue, aches, irritation, or changes you can't explain. That's why this topic matters, because when it comes to your health, especially your kidneys, bladder, and daily energy, self-care isn't optional, it's foundational. In this video, we're going to explore something that most people your age were never taught: how often you truly need self-care after 60. And what kind actually makes a real difference. You'll learn what urology experts are saying about balancing rest, hydration, movement, and emotional well-being. Some of what you hear may surprise you. But before we continue, take a moment and ask yourself, what does self-care mean to you right now? Is it a quiet cup of tea before sunrise? A small window of silence at night? Maybe it's sitting on the porch, listening to the wind, and knowing there's no rush. Whatever it is, I want to hear from you. Share in the comments what self-care looks like for you these days. Is it a habit you protect, or something you've ignored for too long? If you're new here, welcome to Elderly Wisdom Guide, a place for honest conversations about aging, health, and the inner strength that comes from caring for yourself. Go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, and let's walk this path together. Because after 60, self-care isn't just about comfort, it's about wisdom. And today, you're going to discover exactly how to practice it in a way your body will thank you for. Picture this: you wake up early, and before your feet even touch the floor, your mind is already racing. You think about your blood pressure, your medication, the tasks waiting for you, the meals you need to plan, or the calls you haven't made. You sip your morning tea and look outside, but mentally you're already running. One task leads into the next, and by nighttime you realize you never actually paused, not even once. The routine of caring for everything and everyone else has made you forget how to care for yourself. Most people don't realize that after 60, your body reacts to stress differently. Those small worries and little anxieties stay inside you longer. Cortisol, the stress hormone, rises faster and takes longer to settle. And when that happens day after day, it quietly affects your blood pressure, heart rhythm, digestion, and even bladder control. You may not feel it immediately, but your organs do. Your brain remembers. Your nerves remember. That's why daily moments of calm are so important. Not occasionally a daily, just 5 minutes of silence, slow breathing, or or peaceful stillness tells your entire body, you're safe. You can relax. It sounds simple, but biologically it is powerful. Self-care doesn't have to look like massages, spas, or vacations. Real self-care is allowing yourself to rest before your body breaks down. Even something as small as sitting by a window and watching the light shift can be healing if you are fully present. You don't need complicated readiness, just 10 quiet minutes a day. Tomorrow morning, before your schedule pulls you in, sit still, breathe slowly, place a hand over your heart. Think of one thing you're grateful for. Do it every day. Not perfectly, just consistently. Your body responds more to patterns than to effort. When you practice stillness regularly, your body learns how to release tension. You'll notice your shoulders soften, your jaw unclenches, and even your bladder muscles relax. That is not imagination, it is your nervous system remembering calm. Over time, that calm improves sleep, mood, and physical balance. Peace isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you build, moment by moment. But the mind is only one part of the equation. Now we need to talk about the most overlooked part of self-care: hydration. There was a man, 68, who told his doctor he stopped drinking water so he wouldn't have to wake up at night. The doctor understood. He hears that from older adults all the time. But soon that man began to feel weaker, dizzy, and uncomfortable when urinating. The problem wasn't age, it was dehydration. The bladder isn't your enemy, it needs support, not punishment. When you don't drink enough, urine becomes concentrated and harsh, irritating the bladder and forcing the kidneys to work harder. Ironically, drinking less often leads to more urgency, not less. Hydration is one of the simplest forms of self-care, especially as you age. It keeps the urinary system clean, prevents infections, protects the kidneys, supports digestion, and even helps the brain stay alert. Think of your body as a gardenia without steady watering. It struggles. Drink earlier in the day, sip often, and ease up in the evening. You're not drinking just for thirst, you're drinking for balance. And while hydration keeps your inner systems flowing, your body also needs movement to stay alive. Not heavy workouts, a gentle motion, stretching, walking, slow bending, or chair exercises. When you move, you help your joints, your circulation, your muscles, and even your urinary system. Lack of movement stiffens the body and speeds up decline. Gentle movement tells your body you are still living, still participating, still in control. Then there is emotional care, another form of self-care most seniors overlook. Loneliness is not just a feeling, it changes the body. It raises stress hormones, disturbs sleep, weakens the immune system, and affects the heart and bladder. You don't need a crowd, you just need connection, as someone to talk to, laugh with, or share thoughts with. A short phone call, a friendly chat, or a weekly community visit can feed your spirit in ways medicine never can. Which brings us to the most important question: how often should you practice self-care after 60? A wise doctor once said, as often as you breathe. Self-care is not a weekend event, it is a rhythm. Daily calm for the mind, steady hydration for the body, gentle movement for strength, emotional connection for the heart. Consistency, not intensity, is what keeps the body youthful. You don't grow old from age, you grow old from neglect. When you choose to care for yourself with tenderness and regularity, your body responds, your energy rises, your spirit brightens, your days feel lighter. Accepting that your body needs gentler care now is not weakness, it is wisdom. So today, do one small thing for yourself, not to impress anyone, not to earn rest, but because you deserve it. Maybe sit outside for a moment, maybe stretch, maybe simply breathe without rushing. You have earned peace, not guilt. Before we close, I want to hear from you. How often do you give yourself real self-care? Daily, weekly, or hardly at all? Share below, because your story might help someone else take their first step. And if today's message reminded you that your well-being still matters, tap like and subscribe. Here at Elderly Wisdom Guide, we are building a place where aging is not about losing strength but gaining wisdom. Thank you for watching. Take care of your body, your heart, and your hope. You deserve all three. Until next time, stay well, stay gentle with yourself, and keep shining.